gone.
We didn't really get to see the new Lord Dance, the Broken Walls version of the Lord Dance. And there you go. No 1-1 for this game.
Oh, man.
That was enough. That was enough.
Yeah. So, good choice there by Liquid, respecting that Onic Philippines could also have a crazy one-run player on their side. Of course, that is Kelra with them. So, they also respect the chip here of JP. But again, I feel like when it comes to Broken Walls, chip might actually be one of the go-to bans you're going to have to commit. Also acknowledging that the R-Lot, Baksha are worthy of banning. So, what's actually open for Liquid is a rush pick on the Lapu-Lapu, and then maybe even paired up with a Juicin right away if it's going to be available for them in the first 2 picks on red side. I feel like that's going to be a very solid first 2 picks that you can just build around on and you can't go wrong with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but does the Angela get through
Oh, yes.
this game?
It's either the Lancelot or the Angela. You gotta pick your poison at this point. But are you actually gonna give the Angela to Super Fritz?
Okay.
The answer is no.
Yeah, and it's always been mid so far.
Yeah.
Like mid lane.
And and now the Lancelot able to be locked in here for Onic Philippines. But are they gonna do that? The Baksha itself was banned by Onic.
Yeah, there you see Kirk's lips and glance.
Okay.
Yep.
we read his lips.
They get a Lapu Jushin.
Maybe even a Fredrin Zushin.
No need to rush it.
There's a
They can Fredrin third.
And the Yi Sun-shin still if they want to consider a similar setup.
Oh, are they gonna go carry again? So ISS Lapu is an option, and then they'll pick their gold laner. Oh no, they can pick their gold laner red 4 considering they're gonna be Cryo there.
Yeah. And there are so many gold laners open as of now. 0 bans in the gold lane. It's mostly jungle and mid lane. It's only 1-1, and that's mostly housekeeping, if I'm being honest.
Yep.
You kind of assume that the 1-1 is always closed, but looks like they're going to go for the Zushin and the Uranus this time. Back-to-back Uranus game here for Sanford.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised there aren't any Lapu pickups so far.
Yeah.
At least when we're talking about Kirk and Sanford.
Yeah, I think they kind of want to force Kirk into just picking up the glue again. And knowing that it is a Uranus on that side, actually, you know what? No, it's okay. Again, I still think that Esmeralda could be an option, but the problem with that is if Liquid decide to serve and then go again for a multiple core setup, the Esmeralda will not be happy with that.
Yes.
Yeah. One of the problems of an Esmeralda is that you want a lot of melee matchups.
Yeah.
You want to be able to stick around 2 dudes or 3 dudes at once, just so that shield will be extra thick. But looks like they're gonna go for the Harith this time around. Let's not forget, Kelra is the current #1 Harith all time of MPLPH.
Wow. Already revealing their mid jungler and gold lane. So okay, that's
Very honest.
That's a very honest draft so far we're seeing from Onic. Kind of like what we saw from Team Liquid Philippines earlier too, because again, the multiple core setups were early and revealed immediately in the draft. But now we go back to what will Daddy JP get his hands on, and what will the gold lane be for Team Liquid, because that might be the target for Onic PH now.
Yeah, they could take away the Granger if they want to. I feel like TLPH, you want to have a lot of burst damage. You pair it up with the Zushin, but also with that YSS, you do have the option to go for double fighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if Liquid pulls a page out of the book of JP? Excuse me, not JP, Benny Cutie, and they pick up a gold lane Esmeralda for themselves. Should be able to check out, but then you don't see enough. So maybe you'll pick up your roamer first for JP. Good respect there by Onic by taking away the Franco. I don't think they're going to go for a pick-off burst. I think they can just play it static and they'll play the Gata Kacha instead if it's available for him to be picked up. I think that's something that Onic needs to prioritize. Ban out the Gata Kacha of JP first.
And I feel like we have not seen the high loss for the longest time as well in the roam.
Yeah.
I feel like in this meta, you could potentially take it off, especially against a Farsa.
Yeah.
You know, the Farsa, historically speaking, has struggled against that high loss. And if you are able to drop down that Glorious Pathway right in front of the Zaman Force, that allows for some sort of counterplay as well against that Harith.
Yeah.
So that could be an option if you're TLPH.
Especially if it's JP. And there have been some roamers who are slowly getting back. I mean, just now we saw in the hands of Open, the Badang too. We rarely get to see that anymore, but it seems like it's going to be the Lunox band still for Onic. Yes, okay. This should be a JP pick.
Yeah, pick your gold laner last.
When I give the word.
Oh, okay, so they go for a Khalid instead of Gatot Kacha. Interesting.
Wow.
They'll be able to rotate fast, and that pressures Brusco to be able to pick up something along those same lines, someone who can rotate quickly. You might see them consider picking up the Cho, but if ever Brusco can be the one to just pick up the... You know what? I think I'll be okay with him picking up like a high loss. It's going to be slower, but it pairs up very well. A very good synergy with the Harris and Farsa.
And we have seen that in history, in MPL history, having that Zam on forts and the Glorious Pathway. But the Gatot Kacha should be a very safe option here if you are the side of Onic Philippines, mainly because that would also allow you to pressure that Quicksand Guard and the possible Traceless. But looks like they're going to go for the Hilda instead to match the presence of this Khalid. And what are you going to give to Kirk, though?
CC.
Comfort pick. I like that.
Yeah, so they're sticking with comforts for now. It doesn't even feel like it's really drafted based on the kind of map that we're heading into. Although I do miss seeing the Hilda on Kirk as well from time to time, but this is definitely going to be on Brusco's hands. So,
Hard matchup here. You can't play the carry against a Farsa and a Hilda. I mean, a Hilda you could tolerate, but the Farsa, not so much.
Might just be stuck with a Granger in the long run. He also can't go for something static. Like, let's say if they surprise and pick up an Iksha. Granger, as expected. So they just are going to be playing for range. Should be an interesting matchup again to see JP's Khalid and the Hilda of Brusco. We did mention that Cho is a possibility because of how well it can match the rotation of the Khalid. Another hero that does that very well is because the Hilda. Yes, this isn't dangerous grass, but the good thing about this is now that there are a lot more ways for a Hilda to access through the broken walls, so that if he gets in a little bit too deep, he has an easy way out.
Wow, and we might just see that the moment that these roamers go in for their aggressive starts. We're looking at the Khalid and the Hilda for Daddy JP and Brusco, but I'm most excited about the matchup in the gold lane. It's a tale as old as time. Kelra against Oheb, but this time it's the MPLPH all-time leader in Harith versus the MPLPH all-time leader in Granger. Both of them are #1 in their heroes right now, and they're willing to go all out as we enter the Land of Dawn. This is game number 2 of this best-of-3 series. TLPH already securing a quick win in game number 1. Can Onic PH extend this to a game number 3?
Welcome to Mobile Legends.
In this match, in this golden rivalry match.
Easy XP!
Oh, what? Wait.
He literally just went to lane to look at Kelra, and now he's like 2 forts in.
Vision. That's all you need, bro. Just get vision.
He just needed... Oh, now he's level 2.
Exactly. What the hell?
Yep. That's why Khalid's so good right now. Just how fast he can rotate around the map easily get vision. And because of his Quicksand Guard, that means that if he gets caught into trouble, he uses that, potentially buys time. If no one's going to come respo, he'll flicker out. There's a reason why Khalid has been really picked up a lot more, and why I start using it when we play ranked together.
Yeah. I mean, also just with the mobility he has through the emblem combination, Super Friend's already really low. Oh, that's gonna be first blood for TLPH.
Burns the flicker too, a little bit too late for the Monster Mage. That is bad for Onic.
Very bad. Debut pick for JP on this Khalid. So that's back-to-back debut picks now. And because of it being paired up with Juicin, you are expected to be aggressive and set the tempo through trades in mid.
Yeah, King Kong will try to go for Sanji. Oh, gets to at least land the full combo, but it won't be enough just yet to get a pick off. So they still aren't able to trade what happened just now in the mid lane. It's a really good start so far we're seeing for Team Liquid Philippines.
That's just a 300 gold lead as the first turtle spawns. And it seems that Onic is able to control that pixel brush. But because of the broken walls, JP has free reign over the bottom lane as well. And both XP laners just hurting each other, looking for that level 4. And Super Friends able to have that feathered airstrike right on time for this upcoming turtle fight.
Yeah. Look at the movement speeds. We're seeing Kirk still not level 4, and Tlph are clearly the ones trying to take control. JP is not letting Onic out of sight. Now Brusco getting some information. Kirk easily gains access to the turtle pit as well, but Tlph and Sanji, they seem to be working on this member who can just constantly regain his HP back.
Wow.
So this is a
They're dancing the turtle.
Yeah.
JP already used the flicker. Sanford keeping his eyes out for King Kong. Oh, flicker already committed by Sanji. They get to spot Kelra, but Carl still survives. Sanji actually saves him there with a clutch lantern flare, but King Kong, he will be able to secure this objective, and that well-timed feather air strike from Super Prince takes down JP.
And Tlph lost out on that turtle fight, but at least Tlph still alive.
Yeah, great aggression there actually. Tlph, okay, he almost fell down to the buff, but then Sanji just got a little bit of the aggro from it so that Tlph wouldn't get killed by the purple buff. Okay, so for the side of Onic now, I like how Kurt acknowledged, hey, CC at this point has one simple job. You get curtain call off, man. Someone should follow up. You back off. If you die, it's okay. You got curtain call. Job done. The good thing is it was Tlph that he was able to curtain call and bring down really low, which forced him out of the range of the turtle.
The stun didn't land on Oheb. Super Prince really low, but Oheb again still surviving. JP finds the kill, but look at Brusco. He doesn't let go of Oheb, but that's going to be a 3-for-1 trade, clearly in favor of the Tlph.
JP looking for Kelra here, but Kelra able to escape, and that's going to be really bad for the side of Onic Philippines, considering that this is already Super Fritz's second death within the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, surprise dive there onto King Kong by Sanford and Tlph. Don't think he was expecting it. Meanwhile, Super Fritz is going to get caught again! Super Fritz, he's getting his rotation read by Sanji and Liquid so damn well.
Oh man, the Monster Mage being silenced here in the early game. And Kelra already half HP, but Brusco there to help him out. Sanji looking for the stun, and JP clutch heal.
Quick sand guard into the raging sandstorm, but Kelra at least lands the last hit. Sanji couldn't do much to help him as well, but the energy shields up top, they're nearly gone.
And even after all of those exchanges, it's just a 1,000 gold lead for Team Liquid Philippines. Yeah. This is still anybody's ball game.
Yeah, the gold lead is growing between the two junglers. Almost 700, getting closer to 1,000 for Tlph. Meanwhile, there's a growing gap between Sanji and Super Prince as well. Yep. Something that Onic really need to answer, because if Sanji just starts racking up kills, that's going to be it for them.
Yeah. And now you can see how confident Sanji is, even in terms of positioning, putting himself up front. King Kong trying to look for targets too, but they won't be engaging in any fight just yet. Look at where Team Liquid Philippines have positioned themselves. Everyone, you could expect them to come in at every single angle.
They're dancing the second turtle of the game too. Super Friend still being more careful about his positioning. It looks like Sanford is going to be regenning out of this turtle, but the stun lands. The turtle low on HP.
Mountain Shocker already committed the curtain call, only landed on Carl. They will be letting go of the objective, but will Tlph still decide to fight? King Kong dashes in, but that might have made, or he might have made a wrong decision. Fortunately, he gets to escape, but that's a Crimson Beacon coming in from Sanji. But Brusco, he finds the kill instead. Kelra still has the 7-4. He's gonna dance against 4 members. Might have enough damage to deal with him, but at least Team Liquid Philippines, they're able to run away, but not for long. Kirk still tries to go for the chase. JP goes back in, but now it's officially a disengage.
In a 1-for-1 trade of a mid laner for a roamer. Who won that trade?
Well, let's start things first off. Onic Philippines, because of the curtain call that Kirk was able to drop off, that actually was a deterrent for Team Liquid Philippines to continue fighting. It stopped them. Forced Tlph back, and Onic was able to get the turtle. But then Team Liquid Philippines were able to get some key kills there that it ended up becoming even. Because at this point, Onic getting the turtle is just as big as Liquid getting kills. It's just things getting balanced out.
Yeah, and just a 500 gold lead for Tlph means everybody's still pretty much in the game. Just a 500 gold lead in the jungle in terms of Tlph versus King Kong, but the rest are pretty much equal. Things are looking to be great here as the turret falls down. Onic Philippines, they find the turret up top as the game progresses. We are about to enter our Lord, or last turtle rather, in 35 seconds, and seems that Tlph will be the ones controlling that pit early on.
Yeah, but macro-wise, it's interesting how Onic are the first to take some turrets away from TLPH, and it's Brusco who's slightly ahead of JP in terms of XP, in terms of levels just now too. So even despite how Team Liquid Philippines have been performing in the early game, Onic, they know their way around it.
Yep, and now 15 seconds from now, it seems that the TLPH squad still scrambling to get their first turtle. How important is this for Onic?
Well, if they get this third turtle and they get some kills, then they're going to be pushing their lead. If Liquid get that turtle, should still be a little bit okay for them. However, it's just really boils down to who gets more kills after the fact.
JP trying to look for targets from behind. Wait, that was a flicker committed by Brusco, but he couldn't find anyone, and now Tlph is the one who's able to secure the Turtle Mountain Shocker, landing on 2 members. Crimson Beacon in as well. Sanji finds the kill on Kirk. Better to airstrike. Somehow forcing them back. Kelra dancing, looking for targets, and picks up a shutdown against Carl. And Sanford is next to fall, but JP still trying to go for the chase. He has to use the flicker to escape, and that'll be it for now.
It became a 2-for-2 trade-up, but the turtle is secured by Tlph.
Yeah, and because of that, Liquid won the engagement. Warning shot though for Liquid. The Harith is starting to become an issue. However, good thing that Oheb was able to keep himself alive with conservative positioning, and of course, similar to how we saw in the previous game where Few kept protecting Super Marcos Moskov as the juice in, Sanji is quick to readjust his position in team fights so that he can quickly go back to Oheb to give space for him.
Yep, and now it looks like the mid lane turret is the next target here for TLPH. Great defense, however, coming in from Onic Philippines, able to defend it for a minute longer. And so far for TLPH, they are looking to be ahead in terms of level slightly against King Kong for Tlph. But overall, this is still an even ball game 9 minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, Keller is able to deal that much damage to Sanford. So this is going to be really difficult for them.
Even we felt that.
Ouch, that hurt.
That's just one arrow, but wait a minute.
Now this is really going to hurt. Brusco needs to run away from this. Thornrose lands onto JP. Yeah, he still has the quicksand guard though, so he's still alive.
Yeah, that looked like a damage heat check from both teams, and the answer is both teams have hella damage. So it's just going to boil down to who'll be able to play the team fights a lot better, and who can check out the key conditions. The problem is, if you're going to be trying to chase down Granger, if you're the side of Onic Philippines, then, well, you also still have the YSS to deal with. Yeah. If Sanji stays alive, he can actually be a surprising source of good damage that is going to be problematic for you. On the other side for Team Liquid, Kelra, even if you dive on him, as long as he's on his Zaman Force and Super Prince is in a safe distance to toss out a feathered airstrike, then it seems like that Harith can live on, keep fighting, and actually mess you up.
I agree. I think the Farsa should be given a bit more attention. I know Team Liquid Philippines did already put much attention in the early stages of the game, but all the more now that it seemingly is the way to activate Kelra.
Yeah, they couldn't stop it. The moment that the Salmon Force plus the Feathered Airstrike lands in, they lock in that zone, and it's significantly hard for Team Liquid Philippines to win in that zone. So now Tlph has to regen for a bit here, half HP already. They're going to be able to push up this mid lane turret quite easily, but the Lord is still being held hostage by Onic Philippines, and here we go, the vertical Lord Dance.
Alright, Conceal plays, Brusco being bursted down, JP looking for a target, he goes for Super Prince! There goes the Raging Sandstorm and it still lands! King Kong also gets the Lord, but look at what JP and Sanford are doing down bottom! Oheb also able to take care of Kirk in the other team fight that's going on, and look at how split up everything is. Oheb still fighting, but it's against two and he survives!
It was a trap set up by Kelra and King Kong, but Oheb had the flicker out. Fast hands by the Filipino sniper.
And now they're going to defend. A Lord is marching down bottom lane, and King Kong is stealing away objectives away from Team Liquid Philippines. Yes, TLPH still holds the gold lead, but right now, Onic Philippines has the chance to turn it around. They have the Lord down bottom lane, and they could go for an aggressive maneuver in the next 2 minutes.
For now, they are going to take care of the waves. Onic Philippines, they definitely have had an easier time at handling the macro. And Team Liquid Philippines, it seems like they need to win the fights first before they're able to actually convert. And that's going to be a problem if this continues, but at least they're able to hold on to the slight lead.
They cleanly mitigate the damage coming in from Onic Philippines, regardless of that Lord. There's only 2 turrets that fell down in the hands of Onic Philippines. And now TLPH still miraculously even losing out that fight, and the Lord still holds the gold lead.
Yeah, they are. Oh,
ouch.
Keller half HP. They did a pretty great job at poking him down, but they for sure are not gonna fully commit right here. They have limited information, and there is an upcoming objective too.
Okay, so what I like that Onic has been doing is they've continuously split the fight, keeping the Juice in and the Granger back, pushing them back. So now Team Liquid Philippines, I think they have to be a little bit more conservative with their approaches. Yes, JP and Sanford are applying so much pressure into the backline of Onic, but you need your Granger and Juice in with you. So wait for Onic to engage. That doesn't mean be passive, but just be proactive with your reactivity, if that makes sense.
I feel like they are being a lot... they're showing a lot of proactivity right now. Sanji even suffers a lot of damage coming in from that feathered airstrike. And that will signal Tlph to go down for a bit, but King Kong almost finding an angle out of nowhere there. But so far, things are going to calm down once again. 40 seconds before the next big objective spawns. And Tlph still ahead by 700 gold, but that doesn't really matter considering that everybody has the damage that they need and everybody has the battle spells to keep each other in check the moment that those fights start.
Yeah, the feathered airstrike will be back, or there, it's already back. Sanji didn't use a flicker or a crimson beacon to escape what happened just now too. It's only the mountain shocker that has been used so far. It's Sanford against King Kong and even Carl, but that's a feathered airstrike. Oh no! He finds Carl TZ, damages him enough, but he will not fall.
Right. Good thing that the feathered airstrike is being used by Super Friends early because it forces reactions and rotations out from Team Liquid. And I'm sure he understands the timing that as long as he has his ultimate and feathered airstrike with him for the objective dances, then it should be good. Should be coming back in just a few more seconds while Onic can continue to push the envelope. But I think JP is actually playing a little bit more way forward actually to try and get vision onto King Kong and Kelra. And at the same time, that allows Team Liquid Philippines to play this Lord take to their tempo because they can consistently have a man marking the jungler and carries of Onic.
And look at Sanford just tanking the damage coming in from this Lord. This is the second Lord of the game, which means it hurts just a bit more. And King Kong will be able to deal a bit of damage here, but here comes the concealed play. JP in the back as well.
Yeah, Kelra definitely hurt. There's the knock-up. JP doesn't find the target. Consecration already used, but Carl TZ! He gets damaged by Kelra. Sanji too has to run away. Brusco did a spectacular job at zoning everyone else. JP using the quick stand guard, but he will not survive long. Sanford has to flicker out and he cannot! Kelra now on a mega kill!
And now look at King Kong!
Oh no, greedy! A bit too much, but it forces them back. King Kong will be back in 35, but Onic have the Lord and could continue to apply pressure. Again, we spoke about the Harith, and Kelra has a perfect game so far. 4, 0, and 2 assists.
And now the push continues for Onic Philippines. You have 2 seconds on Carl TZ, 5 on JP. Here comes the feathered airstrike, zoning out Oheb and Sanji, and it looks like going to be the turret going down on the hands of Onic Philippines. Mid lane is down, bottom lane looks to be the next target, but all of the members of Tlph now alive.
They're all working together to make sure this turret doesn't go down. They're able to zone out the members of Onic PH, and somehow they're still able to defend it. But Sanji, why was he there? Now he uses the Crimson Beacon just to escape. That was a close call, and now they have to work on their waves first.
Oh, feathered airstrike called out here. Keller with Zaman Force. Call TZ! He goes down, and he fights 1-2. Sanford looks to be next.
Oh no, only 3 members of Team Liquid Philippines trying to defend this. Look at Kirk! Already under the base, but he might get taken down. Somehow gets to jump away from danger, but King Kong too, he's already back. He's trying to look for another kill. Keller waiting for the Zaman Force once again, but there are still incoming waves and that Liquid has to take care of. But Onic has their eyes set on the base. We are going 9 games today. We're heading into another game, number 3.
We started week 5, day 1 with 6 games, and we're ending week 5, day 2 with 9.
Saturday night, Filipino MLBB, baby. How many times have I said it this season? And I am happy to say it yet again. 9 games in a day, and what a comeback. You saw Kelra, again, we acknowledged it. Once that Zaman Force is up, he does not care how many members of Liquid are on him. He can carry, and the members of Onic will back him up. That's exactly what they did.
Beautiful game coming in from Onic Philippines. Tlph held on to that lead for majority of that game, but through crucial engages, through crucial fights, dare I say, micro-intensive fights, they won that game. Sure, some of the parts were a bit too greedy, but they did force out crucial engages as well, or defensive abilities from Tlph.
Yeah. I feel like there were some times where Liquid weren't fully respecting what a curtain call does to you in a team fight in a lineup that has a Harith on the other side. So again, Kirk didn't have the most statistically impressive performance here, but if you just count how many times did the curtain call stop Liquid from doing Liquid things, that number is a lot in this game, and which is why slowly, little by little, it felt like Liquid couldn't do anything once it came to the big team fights.
And now we're gonna look at our MVP. It's gonna be Kelra doing the chrono dashes and the synchro fission as well. The Harith of game number 2, our game 2 MVP. Kelra, spectacular performance in the team fights, in the laning phase as well. You're looking at the number 1 MPLPH all-time Harith user.
I guess you could say it was indeed a perfect Harith game for Kelra, despite everything that happened towards his teammates in the early portions of the game. Super Prince, namely, didn't have that great of a start. He was 0-3, I believe, at some point, and it was really surprising to see that stat line for the Monster Mage, but that did not matter at all when they were already able to execute the team fights, which again, they weren't able to answer.
And this is what you said, Renmar. The curtain call just made sure that Carl TZ was not at all comfortable in every turtle fight.
Yeah. People always look at CCs and think, oh, you're going to have to deal a lot of damage, you see a lot of stats on you. Dude, just toss out your curtain call. You've done your job. If your team doesn't follow it up, maybe you were a little bit too early, or maybe your teammates just didn't acknowledge, or you didn't call it. But once that's out, that's it. And then for Kelra, job is simple. Well, not really simple. Okay, we gotta admit, it's hard for a Harith to bring down the Zaman Force onto a lot and then just dash deal damage. But he made it look easy. The timing's of it. Sometimes he would actually wait to find a better position in the team fight. Sometimes even go around the formation of his own team so that he's coming off from a weirder angle the Team Liquid Philippines aren't completely ready to deal with.
Yep, and the feathered airstrikes coming in from Super Prince. At some point in the game, I was asking, didn't this dude die 3 times in the first 4 minutes? Why is he dealing so much damage come 5-6 minutes inside the game? Has he not been able to farm up the entire laning phase? The answer is yes. The only item that he held was a glowing wand, but for some reason, it hit like a truck.
Or maybe that's the thing. It might have felt for Team Liquid that they were already able to address the problem or the potential problem that Super Prince could be, because they were able to bring him to a 0-3, but what they didn't know was that it was not all that mattered. And yeah, we never run out of highlights in this game. Even that one escape just now that Ohem did against the KK connection was crazy.
Yeah, even the sudden burst damage, the Power of Wilderness, and not Masha, I'm blanking. Excuse me, Hilda. I mix them up. They're both
wild.
They're both wild
female warriors.
Yes, exactly. Yes. So that's what mixed them up in my head. As I was saying, just a simple damage burst coming out from Brusco. Even though his stat line wasn't that high here, it was more than enough to make Team Liquid Philippines think twice about some of the engagement that they were taking. We even saw that one moment where Sanji was just trying to zone, poke a little bit on the Hilda, and then still almost getting killed by the Hilda. That was just a massive sign that, the Hilda's also going to be a problem for the formation. Hence why Liquid just had an overload of problems that, yes, they were dealing relatively well once it came to the major rotations, but when it came to the big team fights, that's when they started feeling little by little as if, why can't we do as much as Onic is doing?
I feel like at that point, Tlph already accepted the fact that the burst damage coming in from Onic Philippines was just way too much to tolerate unless you could dodge it. But how can you dodge it with the curtain call already slowing down your carries? And moving forward in the 16-minute game, it felt as if that even if Tlph played it fundamentally right, got the lead, got the objectives that they wanted, it all still boiled down to Are you able to defend with people missing though?
Yeah, Sanford had the Radiant and the Athenas, but even with those two items, the full build damage output that you could see from Kelra, it was too much to handle for him, and even for JP, where both of them were just actively trying to scout the members of Onic Philippines, actively trying to pin down Kelra and Super Prince, and I feel like on the fly, they